AI data centers taking up all the water, robot girlfriends. I mean, what the flock is going on with these cameras looking at my car? Why do you need all my information? What's next? You want my firstborn? You want my toenail clippings? What is it that you guys want from us, dude? Let's get off into this.
Remember how I said I lived out in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing around us? What's that?
A little flock camera. It's a little flocky flock. It's your friend.
What is
Flocks are
that?
friends, not food.
What is that for? Oh, you know, a free country.
And if any of you guys don't know what a flock camera is, because I was talking to Cass about this, and she actually didn't know what a flock camera was. Basically, a flock cameras are AI-powered automated license plate reader systems made by Flock Safety, deployed across tens of thousands of U.S. neighborhoods and major roadways. They capture vehicle characteristics, make, model, color, license plate to assist law enforcement while drawing intense scrutiny from privacy groups over mass tracking. So I guess they want to know everything now. Hey, how deep is his colon? Whoa! Why do you need to know all of this information about me? What is going on? Why are we having flock cameras everywhere? I mean, I get there's cameras everywhere. I understand that, but still.
20,000 humanoid robots currently being trained to work retail, customer service, product demonstrations, front of house, anything to do with customers for walk-ins. And currently, BMW, Mercedes, Amazon, Tesla are all using humanoid robots to build cars. BMW last year had 30,000 cars built with humanoids, at least humanoid assistants. And if you didn't know, currently in New York, they're testing out a humanoid teacher assistant, which we all know, if it works, will be replacing teachers. It's a trial program. Teachers Union, not a big fan. Doesn't matter.
Do they have a fleshlight plug-in on these teacher assistants?
We're all in trouble.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know they were replacing teachers. They're replacing a lot of the things, man. Even the trades I'm seeing. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday who's an electrician, and he's like, they're even getting to the point where they're trying to replace what electricians do. I was like, dadgum, really? That's crazy work, because I consider that, it's blue collar, yes, but it's highly specialized, like being an electrician, a plumber, something like that, you know?
4 years since I bought my house, my property taxes have increased 30%. If American citizens can pay taxes based on the value of their home, why can't billionaires pay taxes based on the value of their assets?
Where's our money?
I mean, got a point, but also I'm very pro-capitalism. Where's our money? I don't know.
Where is our money? The DOJ just announced that they have arrested 455 people accused of medical fraud in 45 different states.
Medical fraud?
The medical fraud that they have uncovered.
The Somalians?
Equals over $6 billion. In a separate case, the FBI has uncovered over 12,000 cases of real estate fraud. That fraud is estimated at $275 million. The Social Security Department has uncovered billions of dollars of fraud for fake housing programs in different states, giving away money to people that needed housing that actually did not. And then Doge. Do you remember when Doge was a big thing with Elon Musk, who supposedly uncovered $200 million of fraud, and we were supposed to get like a kickback because it's all of our money? Over $800 billion of taxpayer money has been going to these fake programs, allowing people in the medical industry to file claims that aren't real. All of this goes back to us. We're the taxpayers funding all of these programs. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a check in my mailbox. And they say, oh yeah, we made all these arrests. We're bringing all these people to justice. That's great. But where's our money?
I never get a check. I don't know about you guys. You guys get a check? I mean, I can give you guys a check right now by, going to download free cash. It's super simple. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description. You can download the app today, and you can make probably around 20. I'd say you could make $20 in the first 30 minutes. Let me go to their website and see what they say today. 17 minutes average time to earn your first cash. $26 average withdrawal sent yesterday. Over 300 million's been paid out. You can play a lot of different games, and you can get paid out PayPal, Google Pay, whatever. And I'm giving you guys $10. Most people don't even get this. The only reason I've got this is because I've had so many people download the app. and because you guys are so loyal. You guys are real ones. I told Free Cash, my audience converts because they're real ones here. So even if you don't play, download it just to show them that the Levi Nichs community are freaking real ones. All right, let's get back off into this. What does this wise man have to say?
Okay, this one makes me mad as hell, and it shows our government doesn't give a shit about us. You know how we were all excited about Toyota showing this little $8,000 truck? It'd be a great little work truck or just a cheap transportation. Brand new truck for $8,000. That's what they run in China, and they were going to start selling them over here. And our Congress went out of its way to pass a bill and block any of these little trucks or vehicles from coming over here. And you know it's because our big auto industry here lobbied them, gave them some gifts, got them to vote their direction. But so now we don't get the benefit of having some cheap vehicles that with great gas mileage that work just as good as these $80,000 trucks. So now, I mean, they just keep us in perpetual debt. So thank you, congressmen and your senators for keeping you in poverty and not allowing world trade. I don't get it.
That's brutal because an $8,000 truck would be a game changer, I feel like, for a lot of guys in the blue-collar industry. $8,000, you could buy that with cash.
I applied for a job. They gave me the job, and I said to them, I do not want any tax or CPP deducted from my check. You guys pay me exactly what I'm owed, okay? $40 an hour, 40 hours, pay me the $1,600. That's what I want. I'm not paying for a politician to take 10 months a year off and do absolutely nothing but ruin the economy and make other people's life absolute misery and then send the balance of the money to another country. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying to work. You're only on the earth for a very, very short time, very, very short period, and you spending 80% of your time supporting someone else is absolutely asinine.
Dude, I will say in chat, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this. I go out in public now, and I was at Walmart earlier today getting some baby formula for baby Nichs with Cass. And then we were getting some back-to-school stuff for my barber does a back-to-school like giveaway. So we went and got some backpacks, pencils, highlighters, Sharpies, just a bunch of stuff that kids would need for school. So we went and bought a bunch of stuff. Like I bought stuff for a boy, she bought stuff for a girl, and we just bought a bunch of things. We're going to go give those away. But one thing I noticed when we were shopping is everything's a lot more expensive than I remember. And then also everybody's kind of complaining about money. The people at Walmart are like, yeah, gas these days, am I right? Food these days, am I right? Milk. I remember 10 years ago, really nobody was talking about it. Maybe people were complaining about maybe gas prices, but I feel like 10 years ago, gas prices were pretty good. But I hear more and more people now complaining about, God, this is expensive. God, this is a lot. I can't save any. Majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're hurting. And they can't retire when they're 65. They got to retire when they're 68, 67. I got to keep working. I won't get Social Security. Social Security is going to be a freaking dime a month by the time I'm getting it. Good job, Levi. You worked for 30 years and paid all this in taxes. It looks like you're going to get about $350 a month. That's what it's going to be, dude. That's exactly what it's going to be. A lot of us that are in our mid-30s and maybe even our mid-40s, by the time we're 65, 70, Social Security is going to be $12 and a pack of bubble gum every single month. It's going to be bad, dude.
In-law is 93 years old. He'll be 94 soon. And he likes to talk about the years that he worked at a local plant manufacturer here in town as like his best years. That's all he wanted to do, that everybody wanted to work for this company. And the company, like a lot of companies, how it used to be, had pensions. He has been retired now from that company more years than he worked there, and he gets a pension check every single month. And he said,
those days are dead and gone. Those are like the tumbleweeds in Western movies. Wow, wow, wow. You ain't getting pensions no more. Pensions were so good that they got rid of them and said, you know what, we'll do you a 401k. 401ks don't pay out near as much as a pension.
Says that when he worked there in the 70s and 80s and all that, that if you called out sick and you had a sick day, the employer paid you more on that day because they assumed you had more expenses like doctor's visits and buying medicine. So
nope,
I think
not anymore.
Those types of examples are really important to remember, that those pensions and unions and those benefits that were paid to employees because employers respected them as part of a thriving middle class, those protections don't exist anymore.
Nah, most companies now are it's profit over people. It's profits over people. They don't care about you. They demand sick notes. I remember when I was calling out at a company that I worked at in the past, they would require a doctor's note. Whereas when I first started, they're like, you're sick? Okay, cool. Take your day off. It doesn't matter. But then they're like, no, we need to see that doctor's note, buddy. I was like, you need to chill out.
Time to stop paying your credit cards.
Okay, no. Do not do that. Your credit will get tanked. It'll drop to the floor like a 304. Shipping and I should have bought a Honda. Pay your credit cards, buddy.
Now, this is not medical advice by any means, but
this is not medical advice. Okay, I thought we were leaning financial. Okay, I'm already confused.
Important for you to know that my credit cards have not been paid in many, many, many months, and whose credit score is going up? Yeah, this girl.
Yeah, it's because you haven't closed the account yet. Pay off that account and then close that account. Your credit score will actually go down. So they're seeing it as utilization because the credit companies are actually getting a little slice of that. So they like that. But if it goes to collections or you don't pay it for a certain amount of time, it's not going to be good for you.
Girl! So it's all a scam. It's all numbers. Money is not real. It is just numbers on a freaking screen at this point. And same with the credit score. Numbers on a screen that go up and down like a teeter-totter. And sometimes when you're teeter-tottering in the way that you've been taught is best, okay, this is going to increase my score, boom, it goes down. So what I'm telling you today is it will literally pay off for you to have more freedom and stop caring so much about paying those credit card bills. Stop. Just stop paying them. Again.
Once again, chat, do not do that. That is stupid. You can keep a little bit of a balance on these credit cards. I wouldn't keep a lot. And this is coming from a guy that had like a 640. And I checked it the other day. I have it 800. So I brought mine up pretty big time.
I am so frustrated. My mother is 78 years old.
Why are you frustrated? Is it because Marlboros are $9 a pack now?
Shots fired!
Okay, let me stop.
She worked her entire life. She paid into Social Security and Medicare for decades, never missing a payment, believing it would be there for her when she needed it most. Her Social Security check was about $1,400 a month. Not nearly enough to survive on, and now they're no longer paying her Medicare Part B. So after her Medicare Part B premium is deducted, she's left with around $1,200. Her rent alone is $800. That leaves her with just $400 to cover everything else: food, medication, transportation. You know, she stands in the grocery store comparing prices down to the penny, putting items back because she cannot afford them. Some days she skips meals to make sure her groceries last longer.
Wow.
Tell me how she's supposed to pay for groceries, prescription, and everything else on what's left.
You can't. That truly is sad. That truly is sad. Now, luckily, my grandfather, he worked really hard. He was a milkman. Y'all know how milkman be getting down. I swear I had a bunch of other cousins I didn't even know about. No, I'm just playing. But for real though, my grandfather was a milkman for like 30-something years, and then he did the Army and then the Army Reserves. And he left a little nest egg. I think he passed away with about $500,000, and then my grandma lived a little bit longer than that, and then through that time she burned through like another $100,000. But then left all their kids about $400,000. So that's pretty solid. That's the thing. If you don't keep it nested away, at least some of it, by the time you get older, that Social Security is not going to keep you afloat, dude. It's really not going to keep you afloat.
We're so nostalgic because we got a taste of the world before everything became a subscription, an algorithm, or a monthly payment. People want to make fun of us for being nostalgic. Of course we are. We remember when hanging out wasn't content. Pictures weren't proof. And the internet was just a place that you visited, not where you lived. We lived through 17 different versions of society. We had a childhood where our parents kicked us outside and said, be home when the streetlights come on. Then suddenly we had to learn email, rank our friends on MySpace top 8, then Facebook, then Instagram, then TikTok. Now somehow my refrigerator needs Wi-Fi. We had landlines, then flip phones, then Blackberries, then iPhones. And now my phone is editing my photos, answering my questions, and judging me on my screen time. We learned cursive. And then they said, you know what, never mind. We memorized phone numbers.
Yeah, we learned cursive. We also learned how to write a check, and you don't need to write checks. My mom was like adamant on teaching me how to balance a checkbook, and I was like, why would I do that when Chase does it?
Now we refuse to even pick up the phone. We use MapQuest, printed out directions.
Right? I remember driving to Dallas with a MapQuest printed off. Like, printed it off, had it turned left on Mulberry Lane. I had all that, bro.
You made one wrong turn, you ended up in Nebraska. We survived enough technological updates that now when I hear, here's a new feature, I know that I'm gonna have to teach my parents and my children how to use it. We're not nostalgic because we're old. We're nostalgic because we've had to relearn how to be a human every 5 years.
I mean, the chick's she's got a point. It's because in the 90s, we saw the greatest rise in technology. And if you were born in the 90s, basically what you saw is you got to see pre-technology and internet, and then you got to see post-technology and internet. So you got to see what life was like before then, when you're riding bikes and you're out and about, when you had the dial-up, you got to see all that. And then now we have a very, very highly advanced phone that we have in our pocket. Remember when your math teacher, this is for the millennials here. Remember when your teacher's like, you're not always gonna have a calculator in your pocket? Well, you just lied, Mrs. Harris.
You're a liar!
Because I have a very, very good calculator in my pocket. I also have unfiltered access to the entire internet. That's the thing. So we went through an era, we went through an age where we never had it, and then we had on a very large scale, we had access to everything. And so that's why it's so much different.
At a restaurant, as many of you know, and last night I was working my dinner shift, and my first table is I give them the check, and then I come up to collect the check and like take their payment, and the woman's on her phone, and she's like, oh, like I'm just paying the bill on my phone. And I'm like, what do you mean you're just paying on your phone? Because like we don't have anything like that. She's like, oh yeah, I just went to your website and I was able to like pay on my phone, like through your website, like you just enter your check number. Like, what? So I like go check in with management. Apparently it's some new system that was like implemented like very recently, but it like kind of doesn't have anything to do with us. I don't know. I wasn't fully clear on like the whole thing, but it just like really.
Once I hit the 10th like, I'm like, okay, I'm out. Once I hit that 10th like. This is very common. This is very, very common. A lot of restaurants do this where you scan the QR code and you pay. I prefer it because I can just pay and then leave. I don't have to wait for the check, then for you to come back, bring me my card, then I have to fill it out. I can just pay online. It's super easy. FDA approved lab-grown meat. Ugh.
Never eaten anything out of a drive-thru ever again. Look here, kids. FDA.
Yes, lab-grown, also called cultivated or cell-cultivated meat, has received both FDA and USDA approval in the U.S. Oh my God.
FDA approved, lab-grown, genetically modified meats. It's coming. Finite for this fat bald dude. If it's got a drive-thru anymore, I'm done. You want to know why? Bang. Tyson Foods. Tyson Foods is the chicken purveyor for every fast food restaurant in the nation. Mm-hmm. If it has a drive-thru attached, guess what? They get their chicken from Tyson through Cisco Food Service. Let's just put this out here. They have put in millions, billions of dollars in 3 different labs to grow lab-grown chicken, genetically altered and modified chicken. Finite. It's a wrap. Anybody that's been buying food for as long as I have not had anything out of a drive-thru in years, and I'm going to tell you, don't buy anything out of a drive-thru.
Wow, that's crazy. Lab-grown meat? Chat, you going to eat that? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Y'all eating that? Let me go to a previous episode here. This is Jim Carrey wasn't crazy after all. We just weren't listening. Here we go. Crazy how the Truman Show is our lives. Yes, it is, bro. Alcoholics don't run in my family. They stumble all. Okay, alcoholics don't run in my family. They stumble around mostly. I'm tired of Hollywood telling me what I want and what I like. It's a shame that we had Jim Carrey and Robin Williams in the same era, but never got a movie with both of them together. God, that is so freaking true, dude. 2 of the greats. Lol, In Living Color wasn't a movie. I thought it was. Maybe I'm stupid. Remember when Carrey once said, when it was a TV show, right? Remember when Carey once said when he first got to Hollywood, he wrote himself a $10 million check and he promised himself to cash it. Then he said he cashed it after doing The Mask. Yes, I do remember that. Norm Macdonald was such a loss. We'll never have a guy like that again. Bro, Norm Macdonald's great. I'm Scottish, Irish, German, Norwegian, and Lakota Sioux. The only problem with alcohol that runs in my family is when someone has too much blood in their alcohol system. Oh my God. Jim Carrey starring as Muhammad Ali is going to be the next film of the winter. Oh my God. My favorite character played by Jim C. was Fire Marshal Bill. Consumer drones, that hits hard. In Living Color wasn't a movie. Okay, it wasn't a movie, chat. It was a show. My bad, dude. I'm sorry, I'm old. I've got grays on my sack. That man used to spend hours and hours making faces in the mirror to perfect his impressions. Levi, you are effortlessly funny. Black guy from Harlem here. Okay. White guys, that is always welcome in any group unless they are haters. Respect and salute. What are the replies on this? I agree. Why the cap locks? You are annoying. Okay, you guys are killing me on In Living Color wasn't a movie. Jim Carrey was great in Once Bitten. Loki is totally in the whole van down by the river thing. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance at doing what you love. I've been sober for 4 months, and now I'm now no alcoholic here. What I say, Fallon instead of Kimmel? Regarding the end of the video, I've learned through the years that no matter who you talk to, it's almost guaranteed they know something you don't. Even Loki loves Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. You probably meant Jimmy Kimmel, not Fallon. Okay, you guys were really fact-checking pretty hard on that episode, which I appreciate. Appreciate you guys looking out for me, man. I know I can't get nothing past you guys. You're too smart. You're too smart. That's why I know you guys won't fall for all this flock camera, AI data center. You know, the toenail grabbing. They want your first unborn. Can we get your wife's placenta? That's what they're coming. That's what they're coming for. Hey, why don't you go ahead and spit in this cup, and we'll tell you that you're related to a lizard in the Himalayas. The world's a crazy place, chat. Americans are waking up. Lab-grown meat. Data centers that can tell when your next poop's gonna be. You know, they're making the freaking frogs gay. You know, they're making the cows bisexual. You know, I heard they even made a couple lizards. You know, I heard they put them in a polyamorous relationship. It's getting crazy. It's getting absolutely insane in the market right now. And the thing is, you got to watch out. Because if you don't watch out, you might be next. Don't fall for the games. Trust your gut. And grab her butt. Shubin and I should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. Ain't that right, Lux? Free. Sit. Shake. Wait. Free. Go to your place. You guys like the little piano backing track? You guys like that? I hope you do. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.